I'm Richard Fritz. I am now the technical advisor to the World Poultry Foundation, and I've been with them about 12 years and working on mainly training and development of programs. One thing that I've always found interesting is poultry can actually be trained. Seeing women in Africa call their flocks back for the evening, and the birds get to know you, get to know your personality, get to know your voice. And they're just amazing creatures, so they're kind of fun to work with. Well, actually, it was by mutual agreement. The foundation was really just starting out, and I'd been working with the USA Poultry and Egg Export Council for a number of years on food safety related topics. And so they asked me to start working on some training programs for the WPF. And that was a part-time basis, and it went well. So we just started to grow closer together over the years. That the foundation was started by the U.S. poultry producers, large companies, who really wanted to work and train poultry producers in other countries to become better managers of their flocks and produce more birds and more eggs for their own internal income and provide not only income but a higher degree of nutrition for their families. For the main part, from my perspective, is that poultry is a great alternative to other livestock because they have a lower environmental impact. They're easier to manage, especially in stressful conditions. And you don't need a large flock to improve your income and your family nutrition. So they have less impact, let's say, on the environment and the time it takes to raise livestock. Well, the smallholder farmers that we've worked with generally have very limited income, $2, $3, $4 a day. And when you could get to a point of, let's say, 20 birds in your flock, and you can sell the excess eggs or the males for meat, in some cases you're almost doubling your income. And again, it takes less time and less energy in terms of management. And so you can see individuals who are in our programs actually buying new roofs for their houses or sending their children to school, or just diversifying their diet in general. So for those people who have been trained and through the programs and decide to raise poultry, whether it's with us or with other groups, they've really done very well from their own perspective. One of the greatest strengths, I think, of the World Poultry Foundation is we've developed our own data programs, our own databases, and we share that openly with our partners and our funders. And I don't see that a lot from any other organizations, whether they be a governmental entity or other organizations that are involved in economic or health development. For me, the work that we did for the U.S. poultry industry and the World Poultry Foundation in Vietnam is probably the greatest achievement for me. I mean, we helped them write their laws when it came to livestock production and food safety and environmental laws, and then develop training programs for their universities and their poultry industry, big programs in hatchery development and disease management, and those are still going on today. So it was a multi-year project, but we see the results, that have taken place, and many other organizations like the FAO took on what we accomplished and continue to initiate those kind of programs. I think that we need to expand into the input side of things more. I mean, we've done a great job in terms of training and working with the producers, but in order to be more efficient and cost effective, I think more into the feed and energy areas to bring down the costs for small-scale producers and hatcheries and mother units. That's going to be the key to expand and to strengthen the program. Well, the one thing that I believe has helped me throughout my career, and I've worked, in the livestock sector and the grain sector and government, is just to be curious, and that means listening to new technologies, new means of genetic development of chickens. It means new ideas that can be presented to the small-scale producers that they may not have thought about, or we even thought about. So it's just looking at the new technologies, the new science that's coming forward, and just be open to embracing that and experimenting. I think one of the strengths of the WPF is we're not afraid to admit when something didn't work, and try to change our programs. And but you need to experiment. You have to have failures and acknowledge those, and actually tell other organizations what failed and why. But there's no shame in that. First of all, I've been lucky enough in my career to travel the world. My wife has not been so lucky, so some just travel with her to new locations. And also we're kind of an outdoor family, so doing more fishing and hiking, and just kind of being able to see new parts of the world in those venues, not necessarily the cities, but being out in the countryside is something we've always wanted to do. And so that's the main thing I'm looking forward to in retirement. The opportunities, some you have to pursue, and others just come through the front door, and I tell my two kids, if there's an opportunity, you have to take it. You just don't know where it's going to lead. And sometimes it's a bust, but oftentimes you find that you're in a whole new area that is interesting and exciting, even though you had no background in it. And you just have to take those chances, and that's what I did, and I got lucky.